What's up YouTube, it's your boy Muhammad back with another video with the channel Mr. Top 10 Cents. Today I got a special review for you guys. This is a brand new release from the house of Parfums Vintage. This release I'm talking about is Pineapple Vintage King Intense. You got the box right here kind of emulating the Creed boxes, which that's what they were going for. Let's get the Creed box. I got it just to compare. You've got the square insignia with the name. You got the Aventus right here with the square. You got the crown up top, crown up here, same feel. You got this square picture that's Parfums Vintage is pretty famous for. You got a square writing or document, whatever, back here. And I think they did a pretty good job because it reminds me of a Creed box when I look at it, guys. All right, so that's the packaging. Let's go to the bottle. This is your standard Parfums Vintage bottle. All their fragrances come in this bottle with the wooden cap, gold atomizer. They stepped up their sticker game. This is kind of like a 3D, nice feel to the touch. I like it a lot better. I still wish they stepped up their presentation. I wouldn't mind paying an extra $15, $20 for a nice bottle and put it in my collection. Looks nice, but that's just me. A lot of people just care about the juice and they don't care about the bottle or the presentation. Let me try to explain to you guys how it smells and how it comes off to my skin and to my nose. Right, when you spray this on, you get that nice bergamot, apple, pineapple freshness that you get with the other from the line, like Pineapple Vintage Intense, but not as candy-like or sweet. It's more of a fresh bergamot apple up top. Now after 15 or 20 minutes, when you spray this on, you start getting some woods and patchouli coming through. And it's kind of like a peppery, woody pineapple. It also has some birch coming through after about an hour, but it's not too smoky where the fruity batch lovers would hate it, and it's not too subdued where the smoky batch lovers will hate it. It's balanced perfectly. I really think that the woods and the patchouli that are amped up in this fragrance really balances everything out. What makes this so different? We got Pineapple Vintage Intense, which most of you guys know is by far my favorite Aventus clone or anything in that genre. It's a 10 out of 10 fragrance to me, which I have it right here for comparison. You guys know that I bought 3 bottles of this. Absolutely adore it. We got the Pineapple Vintage and Vintage Intense, where it has an emphasis on the pineapple, the bergamot, the apple, the citrus aspects of it. And then you got the Noir Intense and Beyond Noir, that enhances the birch and the smokiness of it. Well, this one kind of goes in a different direction. It tries to enhance the other elements of Aventus, like the woods, the ambergris, the patchouli. And that's what you get out of this. It's more of a woody, patchouli, kind of peppery, musky fragrance. Kind of reminds me a lot of Cidre Boisé. Now, Cidre Boisé is a fresh, kind of sweet, musky, woody fragrance. It doesn't have any smokiness. Well, that woody vibe that you get with Mancera, Cidre Boisé, is kind of reminiscent of what you get in this fragrance. So if you really like the woodsy quality of Mancera Cidre Boisé, I'm pretty sure you would like this. I really think he did a great job. It's a very well-balanced fragrance. Some might consider this the holy grail of Parfums Vintage because it's so well balanced. This comes in one size, 50 ml size, and the reason that it's only in a 50 ml size is the same reason why Creed is raising their prices and dropping the size of their bottles. There is a citral shortage, which citral is an ingredient that they use in the fragrances, and there's such a shortage of it that it's getting really hard to find and it's getting really expensive. So Damon Stammers had told me that he would rather sell smaller quantities to more people than bigger quantities to less people, which I can understand that. But of course, us as frag heads, we always want the 100 ml, best bang for your bucks. So I could be as transparent as possible. This was sent to me for review by Parfums Vintage, but that is not gonna change my opinion or sway my opinion in any way. I didn't even know I was getting this fragrance. I have reviewed 4 fragrances from Parfums Vintage, and you guys know that 3 out of the 4 was not very glowing reviews. Verbena Fields, I didn't like it very much because I really don't like Green Irish Tweed. And Trigo Devastante, I liked, but it just didn't fit me. It was kind of too mature. X batch smelled really good, but for the price, to me, it just didn't last long on my skin. I mean, it really did not. 3 hours, there was no way that I could deal with that. If it lasted 8 hours on my skin, or if it lasts 8 hours for you guys, then that's excellent, because it does smell really good. So on top of all those reviews that weren't so glowing, they still decided to send me this because they just really wanted to know my opinion and my take, because I'm not a big reviewer and I didn't give them glowing reviews. So what's the reason for them to send me this? They just want opinions, true and honest opinions, and I could accept that and respect that. Now let's talk about performance. I wore this 5 days, like I said, multiple wearings. I sprayed this around 6 a.m. and around 11:30, 12 o'clock I started going nose blind, nose fatigue, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't smell it anymore. Even I sprayed it 2 or 3 times on my hand at 6 a.m. so I could get whiffs of it throughout the day. I could not smell anything around 11:30. That's 5.5 hours. But at 2 o'clock I got a compliment. When I passed by one of my employees, she was like, you smell really good. What are you wearing? So obviously it was still there. When I got home at 4:30, my wife couldn't smell me anymore. So I would say that the longevity is between 8 to 9 hours. That's the longevity, because every time that's how long it would last. Around 2 o'clock, 2:30, that's when it would fade away. Nobody could smell me anymore. Projection on me, not very good projection. I've seen some reviews on Facebook and even on YouTube where they say that they got beast mode projection. I didn't get barely any projection. About a half a foot for 2 hours, then it sits really close to the skin. I'm guessing that's just how it works off of my skin with the woods and the patchouli that's added into this fragrance. This is just very subdued on my skin. A nice work scent, very subdued, inoffensive, very well-balanced fragrance that's gonna get you through the workday. What's the difference between Pineapple Vintage Intense and King Intense? Of course, Pineapple Vintage Intense is more concentrated on the pineapple and the citruses. When you spray this on, you get a nice, fresh, sweet, juicy, tart pineapple smell. Very sweet, kind of like a candy pineapple. Stays like that for an hour, projects really well, lasts about 8 to 10 hours. And once that sweet pineapple goes away, that burst starts to peek through, very ever so slight, in the ambergris. And it just smells really good. This, however, like I said, patchouli, wood, some peppery pineapple with the ambergris and a little bit of rose is in here. Smells very different, guys. It would not be redundant to own both, in my opinion, but if you're somebody that only wants one fragrance in a certain genre, like you would only pick out of Dior Sauvage, Dylan Blue, Prada Carbon, Blue de Chanel, Aqua Atlantique, Coach for Men. If you only want one of those fragrances, even though they all smell different, but they're in the same family and you pick one, then maybe this would be redundant, because after all, it is in the same family. But you would be able to tell the difference in the air and on your skin. There is a big difference. Which one do I prefer? I still prefer Pineapple Vintage Intense. I like sweet, fruity, fresh. That's me. But I'm pretty sure that most people would like King Intense better because it's just so well balanced. It's not too fruity, not too fresh, not too woodsy, not too dark, not too smoky, just perfect. This is the holy grail, you could say, to a lot of people. Now, I rated Pineapple Vintage Intense 10 out of 10. I'm gonna rate this an 8.5. Close to a 9. Not a bad fragrance overall. I will wear it, I'll keep rocking it. I'll probably buy another bottle when I run out because, again, it's not redundant to me and it just smells really good. That wraps up my review on Parfums Vintage King Intense. I'm going to part with 3 2ml samples to 3 lucky winners. For you to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is just comment down below and tell me what your favorite Parfums Vintage fragrance is. Don't forget to like, share this video, and of course subscribe. I'll catch you guys with another one. Peace.